Welcome to the Rams review. Owen Bradley with former Derby captain Sean Barker alongside, here live at Pride Park Stadium to bring you reaction to a terrific win for Derby County this afternoon, signing off the international break in style, brushing aside Bristol City. The visitors were the better team for the opening 20 minutes, but Derby burst into life midway through the first half. Kenzo Goudmijn, with his first goal in English football, got the Rams going. They led 1-0 at half-time, and Paul Warne's plan worked perfectly. After the break, Derby hit the woodwork twice before Caden Jackson doubled the lead, and then David Ozo, with his first senior goal, made it 3-0. They were candidates for man of the match all over the pitch. We made Sean Barker pick one. It was Jerry Yates in the end, but it could have been anyone. And I suppose that sums up the sort of performance that we saw from Derby today.
It was maybe slow in the first 20-25 minutes where Bristol City played some really good stuff, had a couple of really good chances. Zetstrom made some very, very important big saves at that point. And there was one moment down the left-hand side where it was a great move. Goudmijn had the one-on-one chance, he misses it, but that just seemed to give everyone a lift, and it sparked the crowd. Pride Park was rocking, and only a few minutes later, of course, he gets his first goal in a Derby shirt. So it was slow at the start, but after that moment, and from that first goal, we just saw the team grow, the confidence grow. If you ask 5, 6 different people, they give you all a different player of the match, because every single player, man for man, were outstanding, especially in that second half. And it was, if I'm being honest, probably as good a 45 minutes I've seen a Paul Warne side here at Derby play. It was defensive solidly, it was pressing, it was aggressive. They moved the ball quickly on the counter. There was some lovely detail in terms of the build. And the reason I went for Jerry Yates is just because it's such a difficult position to play. And he stretched the pitch really, really well and created space for other players. His link-up play was exceptional. He obviously got the assist. He had a couple of chances himself and deserved a goal, but you could have picked anyone. Ozo got better and better as the game went on. Goudmijn was outstanding, his best performance. So in terms of a performance of the second 45 minutes, I'm sure that's what the manager wants. That's what it should feel like in terms of putting a performance at Pride Park in front of 25,000, 30,000 people. The confidence was outstanding, and to be honest, Bristol City couldn't cope with us.
Loads of things we could get into, and we will, and we'll take you through the goals in detail as well. But let's get some reaction from the man who will now be happy through the international break. Here's the Derby boss, Paul Warne.
Yeah, really pleased. In fairness, of all the games we've managed here, that felt more like our team than any other. That sounds a bit harsh, but just the fact that there's an effort to it, there's a speed of our play, our counter-attacking was really good. There's going to be periods in the game when the opposition have the ball, and I think I know now, because the fans are pretty intelligent here, they understand you can't have the ball all the time, and we probably started a little bit nervy. And then they had a couple of good chances, as did we, and I thought second half our performance was right up there. I mean, as you well know, I'm pretty frugal. I would have paid to watch that second half. I loved it. And even if we'd have come off and then a nicked 2 in the last minute, I'd have still loved it. I thought we were really good. I thought if that Nats goal would have gone in and hit the post, I would watch it about 10 times when I got in. So yeah, really pleased with a lot of performances. I just thought that initially we didn't have the distances right. And we had David too deep, so they kept getting either side of him in the 10s, and once we got David to get a bit higher and block the pass through the middle of the pitch, we looked a lot better. And everyone, to the man in there today has contributed, so I'm very, very proud of him.
Just before Kenzo Goudmijn opened the scoring, he had a brilliant chance. Was that move maybe the moment when the players all started to believe in what they were doing?
Yeah, possibly. I just thought the Bristol away teams, like we always say this to the lads, the first 10 minutes of a game is normally really random. It doesn't have any pattern, it doesn't have any technical nuances, it's just random really. And I just thought that they got a better grip of it in the first 10 minutes, and when we got the ball back, we looked a little bit edgy on it, but once we got the tidy up pass good, we looked a lot better. And like Kenzo did have a good chance, I think he should have just put his foot through it. You might as well hit the car park, really. You got more chance of scoring. No, you haven't, but you get my point. And then, I texted him last night saying, I think you could have scored tomorrow. I fancy it. I knew his dad was coming, and I thought the longer the game went on, the better Kenzo looked. And so I'm really pleased for him, really pleased he scored that goal. And it does give the lads a lift, and we've just said it to him in there. You've got to take confidence from that, but you've also got to think that that's your standard. No one wants to play against my front three in this league, I don't think. And I know it sounds a bit, But I don't, and you know, people tell me, oh, you haven't got this, you haven't got that. There's a lot of things we have got. We've got a lot of pace, we've got a lot of heart, we've got a dressing room full of people who care, and it can take you a long way. So I'm, hugely proud standing in front of you.
There's been a lot of talk about wanting to bring in another striker and needing another striker.
Yeah.
Has that maybe been disrespectful to Jerry Yates, who was fantastic for you today?
Yeah, I mean, Jerry didn't play, and you say that, and the same with Colo, Day, Wash. But you always want to bring more goals into your team, always. And I just thought, like today they had, 2 strikers, both have a massive physical presence as well as a pace to their game. So you always want to be greedy at the top of the pitch. And I'm not being disrespectful to Jerry. Jerry knows for a fact I'd always, if I could sign someone better than Jerry, I would. If I could sign someone better than Cash, I would. That's our job, to keep trying to make the 11 as good as we can. And then everybody has to, push to the standard. Like, if you think our 2 new signings in the building yesterday didn't get on the pitch, obviously didn't get done in time, that's not their fault. But you've got Ozzy, just trying to go through Ben, who wasn't on the, wasn't in it today. We've got T in from Wolves, didn't get any time today, but he will. And it gives you a right boost that when you're speaking to the 11 and you can see everybody else who aren't in the team, who want to get in it. Corey Blackett, Wash, they were down at the training ground today. So, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm actually quite excited because I just really enjoyed watching them. And if I never managed another game, I would be really proud of them. I really liked it. It was good. It was fun. I know it's a bit dramatic at times, but it was one of my proudest days, I think, or our proudest days, not mine.
Plenty of first goal for Kenzo, first goal for David Ozo in senior football.
Wow, who would have put David Ozo down on their coupon? I haven't really seen that in training. So for him to score was good. Obviously, we've worked on the Caden goal, so from a coach's point of view, that's as good as your day gets. And obviously Kenzo got a great goal and put it in the only place the keeper couldn't save it. But the win comes from obviously scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, and the clean sheets comes from the work effort of the front 3 throughout the team. The tackles Cash made, Nels made, Ryan Nyambi looked amazing today, Callum Elder, I'm just trying not to miss anybody out of praise because they all contributed. I thought Jakob was excellent in goal today, his kicking was good, and I'm all for my keepers coming out absolute kamikaze. They're going to drop one every now and again and someone might slot into an empty net, but that's on me. I take full responsibility for that. I love my keepers to be brave, and today he was, and it probably summed us up really. We puffed our chests out against a very good Bristol City side, and they kept bringing subs on. I was like, wow, I know him. They're all good players that can cause problems. So we scored at the right times, and the game could have gone either way, but I don't think the scoreline flattered us, and that's the nicest thing I can say to my team.
Last one, I know you can be superstitious. Does that mean that Richie Barker is staying upstairs going forward? Yeah,
that will go down great. I mean, you tell him. I mean, the worst thing was the 2 home games, not the worst thing. I didn't turn up in my club tracksuit for the first game because I'd mislaid it, and you know me quite well, I'm a bit loose. So then the next game I didn't wear it. And then, because we won them 2 and we haven't, so then today I had to turn up in, what's it called, match day drip or whatever they call it, the young kids, right? So I turned up today in the pre-match in my own gear, and the lads were hammering me. I'm saying, I'm superstitious, just leave me alone. So it looked like I was going to a nightclub. So that will have to happen. Rich will have to stay up. And the other thing I really want to mention, one of our conditioners, Nath, is going back to Australia, so that was his last game today. So I asked the lads to play for him, and I just spoke to the lads after the game there, and we've had a photo which we'll put up on our win wall. So it's really sad to see him go, but I think he can feel really proud of what he's done at the football club and what the lads think of him, because their performance displayed their respect for him. So it's a perfect day.
Paul Warne, nice to see him happy, and why not after today's terrific win for Derby County. Biggest winners of the weekend in the Championship. Level of Millwall. We'll take you through all the results in a few moments' time. To go through some of the individuals, Sean, as I say, loads we could have talked about with Paul, and loads that we could go through here. Let's go through a couple of individuals though, and start with Kenzo Houtmijn. Brilliant that his dad was in the building today to see his first goal in English football. Did we see from him the most complete performance? Is he starting to get it now?
It's probably too early to say, but there was definitely a performance this afternoon that showcased what he's about and some of the qualities he possesses. And sometimes it's just a case of having the confidence, having the belief. You obviously have that period of settling in and understanding the English game. In the first couple of matches, there's times where he maybe holds onto the ball too long or doesn't play a simple pass to create more time and space for himself. I actually thought he grew after he got his goal. He got that opportunity, missed it, and you hoped another one would come quickly, and it did. And the detail on the goal was outstanding because you're getting pressed on the edge of the box. The first touch has to be perfect. He set his sights for the far corner and struck it really well. And from that moment, he grew and grew and got better and better. And there was elements of, I don't want to say arrogance, but real confidence, like right on the border. When you're that confident, you take extra touches, you look for the right pass. If it's not on, you find a simple one, you move it again. At times in the second half, he had that, and he had that belief, and there's a couple of wonderful switches of play as well. So there was definitely signs that that's the player that we've potentially got now. It's up to him to learn from every game he's played so far, to appreciate kind of the performance he's put in this afternoon and go again and try and repeat that and try and better that week in, week out.
Jerry Yates didn't score today, but he set up the second goal for Kane and Jackson. I put the point to Paul Warne, who I think sort of brushed it aside, but maybe we'll get into it in a bit more detail. There's been so much talk about Derby needing another striker, needing another number 9. Has that been a bit, maybe not disrespectful to Jerry Yates, but has that forgotten Jerry Yates, given the fact he missed the first 3 games of the season through suspension?
A little bit, yeah. He's a player that Paul's brought into the football club and believes he can lead the line exceptionally well. He understands this division. He scored in this division and the division below. You saw moments of class and awareness and a sense of the space and the pitch geography and the players that are running today. And in the first half, he didn't have loads to play off, but what he did do well is he linked those players. He had moments of brilliance and awareness. And as the game progressed in the second half, I thought he did everything superbly. He ran the line really well and stretched the pitch. He held it up. He understood when to play kind of a simple pass and when to stay on it and dribble past players. It was a wonderful touch for Jackson, who was another outstanding performer this afternoon that we forgot.
3 games at Pride Park.
He's been brilliant,
amazing start.
Brilliant at the start of the season, and he's almost, I don't know why it's been forgotten, but other players have been mentioned before him. But the touch to set up Jackson for the second goal, and just he had the chance, obviously, that hit the post. Brilliant little bit of movement, shifting it onto his left foot. He had the chance just in front of goal that the keeper saved. So he was integral to everything in the second half. And sometimes we've you know, it was no disrespect to Colo, but sometimes we've had to find Colo's chest and feet back to goal because he hasn't maybe got that athleticism to run beyond or have the physicality to test the back line of a defence. But Jerry seems to have all of those things, and he can do a bit of everything. And again, it can be a lonely figure up there when you've got 3 in behind, and if they're not supporting and running beyond, but understanding where those players are, how to link them in, and how to do those little bits individually on your own, I thought it was brilliant, and it just helped bring all the players up the pitch and get them more and more involved as the game progressed. First
all over the pitch today, and the first for David Ozo, first senior career goal, only his 5th senior career start. Again, he looked the part more than ever today, and Paul sort of took us through the tactical adjustment that he made first half with him. Yeah, well, when you're dropping the 2 10s, we thought against Middlesbrough, when they dropped the 10s in the position, David can be a little bit isolated, and they found those little pockets a little bit too easy, and it's too hard for him to shift across and deal with both. But as soon as they got the structure right, I thought he grew into the game. If you gave me another 3 or 4 minutes for choosing player of the match, he might have got it. He was that good in the last 5-10 minutes. He seemed to be more commanding, making more tackles, didn't lose the ball, drove forward, got his goal. So another player that seemed to grow in confidence, and his performance went up another level in the last 10-15 minutes. So delight for him, 19 years old, only a few starts. What a player he's going to be for Derby this year. And we've still not talked about Jakob Zetterstrom, who was terrific in goal as well. Lots that we could get into on the Rams review tonight. Let's bring you some more reaction from downstairs, though. Here is the man who scored the opening goal, his first goal in English football, and his first for the Rams, Kenzo Goudmijn.
A lot. Now, of course, scoring is one thing which makes me, of course, happy to help the team. But I think we did good as a team, all of us today. So yeah, that makes you really happy.
And a special moment for you, and your dad was here to see it.
He was, yeah. It was the only weekend he could come because they played on Friday in the Netherlands. So he flew here this morning. Well, I think he's happy about how I performed.
Have you seen him yet? Are you looking forward to seeing him?
I didn't see him after the game, but I saw him in the stands. So no, it's good. We'll go home together. So it's nice.
A brilliant goal from you to get Derby started. Do you want to talk about the chance a moment before?
Well, we could, but I read it. No, of course we could. Yeah, I got. What was it, like 3 to 5 minutes before I got a big chance? I think I should have scored. I'm happy I could make up for it with another one. So I think a good strike. I had one thing on my mind and it happened. So happy.
A fantastic performance in the second half in particular. You scored 2 more goals. It could have been 3 or 4 more on top of that. Tell me about the feeling the team had in that second half.
Well, I think coming in half-time, being 1-0 up and being able to adjust some things in the game was really helpful because, of course, you see the first half were some difficulties, which we took care of, I think, and we came out second half with a lot of energy, good shape, good tactics. So, I think we performed really well and could have scored more goals, but I think it's a great result.
You look as though you've really settled now. Tell me about some of the changes, the adjustments you've had to make in Championship football.
Well, of course, it's a different type of football. The pace is really high, and you play a lot of games. You need to get used to your teammates, to the way of playing. And I'm not saying I feel already at home. I feel like everything's known, but I'm getting there, and I think I'm settling in well. And I'm happy I get the chance to. So I feel good. I think today was a really good day. I'm happy about today, about my performance, but also about the team's performance, which I think was really good. All happy, really.
First goal for David Oza as well, and I know the two of you and Ibu Adams are quite close, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we how you say this, hang out at the club a lot. Yeah, happy for him as well. I saw him coming. I thought he was a bit tired, but then he saw the ball, just ran up the pitch. I'd say 30 meters, and scored it. So real buzzing about that as well. Happy for him, and just happy for the team, really.
Congratulations to Kenzo Goudmijn. What a day for him. His dad's in the building as well to see his first Derby County goal. Results from the weekend in the Championship then, final weekend before the international break, with still 1 game to come. Watford facing Sheffield United tomorrow. Watford looking to make it 4 wins out of 4. Sunderland did that today, winning at Portsmouth. There were also wins this afternoon for Middlesbrough, for Norwich, Leeds, Millwall, who beat Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, who beat Preston, Stoke, who won at Plymouth. They've struggled to start the season, and for West Brom, who beat Swansea as well. Luton also really struggling. They led last night against Queen's Park Rangers, but the visitors came from behind to win by 2-1. And a win for Derby today as well, which means smiles on faces for the next week or 2. The Rams with the international break, so we'll be back in a fortnight. If you want more and if you want to stay up to date, you can get it on the website dcfc.co.uk. That's all from us now. My thanks to Barks and the rest of the team. See you soon. Goodbye.